G'day folks, welcome to my channel. This is my first video which I'll be making about some Redfin lures that you might like to purchase yourself so that you can get out there and catch more Redfin. So we'll get straight into it. I'll be showing you my top 5 Redfin lures in order of my favourite and least favourite. So we'll get straight into it. This is a Rappler lure, the Xeric Countdown 5. I've had this lure for a very long time, as in 2 years, and it's caught me a fair amount of fish. Now this is not a floating lure, it's a sinking lure, designed to imitate a little brown trout minnow. So it sinks down, and it's got quite a hard metal interior body, which you can see. It's kind of clear. You won't be able to see that, but anyway, it sinks down, swims, has a habit of getting snagged sometimes, casts pretty well like a bullet, so you can get it out there. Now, I've found that this lure in particular works well for redfin, meant to work for trout, but it works well when you're using it in clear water rather than murky water, as it's got quite a smooth swimming technique, little swimming pattern. And doesn't send off as much vibration in the murky water, but definitely you are able to catch redfin on this lure. It works. It's about 20 bucks. You can get it at BCF. So yeah, that's a good one. My fourth favourite is the Strike Pro Cyber Vibe 4.5 gram. You can get this in many different sizes. Now, if I was judging these lures by the amount of redfin that I've caught on them, which is what I am judging them by, then this lure would be at the bottom, which it is. What am I trying to say? This lure has caught me a very big redfin, 2 very big redfin, my record fish at 40 centimetres, but I would not say that it's super effective at catching large amounts. I haven't used it a lot, but certainly works. Like, it's got a good vibration. That's what it's all about. Choosing a vibe lure, which is what these are, a little blade. You want to choose one that's got the perfect vibration, because ultimately the vibration and the colour pattern is what is going to catch you more fish. I've found, you know, sometimes it's the ones that you just find in your tackle box from ages ago that have the best vibrations. Just someone in China designed a blade and it had the best, I don't know, vibration, whatever. So we'll get on to number 3 now. Old goal, the spinner. Now, the spinner is designed to spin in the water like this when you pull it this way. Most of you will know what a spinner is. You can't go past it for redfin, and basically there's a lot of spinners out there, but you really can sometimes have trouble picking out which ones are going to be the best on the day. So I've narrowed it down to 2 of my favourites here, which I have. This is the Mepps Black Fury. Now on the back it says Mepps Comet number 1. They're all made in France, these Mepps, but you can get them quite a lot in Australia. I know that you can probably definitely get them on eBay. But yeah, I've caught a lot of redfin in creeks. I think with this lure, it's got a bit of a bronzy colour on the back, and it's got black and orange spots. I think it's the red spots that attract all the fish. They really like that. Flashes around, you know, it doesn't send off a lot of so it doesn't glimmer very much in the water, but you know, it's eye-catching certainly nonetheless, and it has been proven to work for me. But we'll compare it to this Rublex Kelter Pearl Spinner. Now this is probably a really old one. I don't even know if you can buy this colour anymore, but I've been given this lure by somebody. The lure design has not changed at all, so I know that for a fact. The ones that you buy today in BCF will be exactly the same spinner in body to the ones that were made probably 15 years ago, 20 even, I don't know, this is a very old one. But the thing that I've noticed about these two spinners, to compare them both, when fished in a lake, this one starts spinning and has a much more aggressive spin than this one. You know, sometimes you end up pulling this one through the water a few meters before it decides to start spinning, and only then does it kind of just go, you know. Not a lot of vibration, which is what redfin love. Vibration in the water, because often they're living in pretty dirty water, they can't see, so they have to kind of sense vibration, probably through their lateral line or something on the side. I don't know, a lot of science behind it that I don't really understand, but, you know, so out of the Meps and the Kelters, definitely choose Meps. Preferably go for about the size 1. It seems to be pretty good size. This one, I mean, you could even catch trout on this spinner, I have no doubt. I've caught one just on one that is instead gold, instead of black here, and gold blade, and just has the same red spots. So, I mean, yeah, definitely a good way to go. Choose the Meps. Now, lure number 2 is this Eco Gear. I'm always forgetting these names. SX407. Now, I bought this lure at the same time as buying this this Rappler. I went in and bought a few lures for my Victorian trip. But this lure has been much more outstanding in catching redfin in lakes and creeks, in fact, than the other one. I think it's because, you know, this one, it dives rather than sinks. So, yeah, it's got a much more realistic swimming action, and I personally think it. I mean, they call this colour the rainbow trout, but in Australia we've got a pest fish. I know we have them in South Australia. I don't know, perhaps you've probably got them in other states. Gambusia. This looks just like a Gambusia. It's got the same brown at the top, kind of bit of a flashy side, and the Gambusia have got this black spot, which you can see there. Now, I happen to know for a fact that redfin love eating Gambusia, and if this is going to perfectly imitate a Gambusia, then that's what I love. This has caught me many fish in various waterways, you know, lakes, even creeks. So I've already said that, but you know, very versatile lure. Not very heavy, so you can't get a lot of casting distance with it, but a slow retrieve is really good for that one. That's the SX407 rainbow trout colour. Definitely a good one to go for. I personally prefer realistic colours when fishing with minnows or vibes. Just something to imitate the real prey, and that's definitely what this lure does. So now, for my absolute favourite redfin lure so far, the Xeric fish trap, which I bought just on Sunday. On the same day, I decided to take it out for a fish. Now, this is a pretty big lure. I'd say with the little curly tail stretched out, it'd probably be about 6 centimeters. The hooks are pretty big as well. Compare them to that, they're a lot bigger. Now, the fact that this lure is big did not at all stop the redfin that I was catching on Sunday from gobbling it down. I was catching redfin which had swallowed the lure. So imagine this is the redfin's mouth. They'd swallowed the lure like that. It was poking out about that much. They were gobbling this up. Now usually with a vibe, what you want to do, cast it out, and then vibrate it up, let it sink a bit, vibrate it up, or you don't vibrate it, you pull it up, but it vibrates, and that was working well for me for about 2 casts. Chucked it out again, started sinking down. I started winding it back in. Before I'd even vibrated it at all, I'd already hooked a fairly decent fish. Now, if a lure is able to work without you even using its proper action, then it's got to be a pretty bloody good lure, I reckon. So, on the basis that it caught me about 15 fish in half an hour, 1 each cast, the smallest fish was probably, I'd say, 10 centimetres. Very small, you know. This lure was half its size. There's no way it would, oh, it probably would eat something that size in the wild, but this lure must just be so eye-catching, so realistic to the redfin, that they just love it. So on the basis of that, it is my #1 favourite lure at the moment. That could all change. I've still got a couple to try out. Couple that I've ordered recently coming, such as the Duo Realis Vibe, which I've heard is pretty good. You can find them on Duo International, but yeah, I've never seen these for sale anywhere but this BP store in Barmera, which I was at pretty recently, which I was able to find them at. $15 was all I had to pay for that lure. Actually, I should probably go over these lures again and tell you what I paid for them. So for the Eco Gear, I paid $20 for that. Already said that I paid $20 for that. For the MEP spinner, $5. Real bargain, but obviously not fishable in some larger lakes. And this little Strike Pro Cyber Vibe, which I'm sure I'll give it more of a shot one day. Excellent. Was only $14. So yeah, pretty good. So yeah, if you've watched this far, then thank you for watching the video. I hope you've learned some things, and you'll be able to go out and catch some redfin, or get online and buy some lures, whatever suits you. Getting bitten by mozzies. Alright, well yeah, cheers, like and subscribe, and thanks for supporting me. See you later.